Welcome to Pull the Pin Ready War Room Edition. I'm Jim, and that over there
is Nate.
Don't make me do your job, Nate.
And
Actually, I'm just excited you showed up again.
I try to be here as much as I can.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man.
I love some headlines.
It's like crack.
That's about as much as I read. I hate reading, so I don't read articles. I just read headlines and make assumptions.
Well,
this show is perfect for me. This show is perfect for me.
You are not alone, because I think a majority of people out there do the same thing you're doing. I think they do. They just pick a team and then they interpret a headline to fit their team, and then they go.
Easy enough. Why read the whole article? It's worthless.
In all fairness, I know we've talked about this before. It is hard sometimes. People have busy lives. They don't have time to entertain themselves with all the, the article and all that stuff. And half the time we've already shown you that the article sometimes changes halfway through and makes the headline a lie.
Yeah, most of the headline just a bait click to get you there.
Exactly. And it's interesting like that. You talk about that because I got a buddy, actually somebody's been on this show running his own YouTube channel, and I'm not going to sell him out, but I'd like to promote him. But next time, he says the same thing. He said he figured out the clickbait thing. And I was like, I can't do that. I refuse to clickbait because that makes me angry when somebody draws me in with something. And then I'm like, what is this? So I wouldn't do that to people.
Gotcha. Well, if it promotes you and gets you paid, you might want to.
Well, yeah, I'm not that worried about the money. I'm really here for the veterans. I'm here for you guys. I'm here, to give you veterans an outlet. And that's why I'm surprised more aren't coming on. I know everybody doesn't want to show their face. Everybody doesn't want to put their junk out there on TV or on the internet. I get that. Well, I didn't mean their junk. That's kind of sound a little crazy, but you get what I'm saying. But hey, if you are interested,
we can talk to you just like this. You can be undercover.
Yeah, if you are.
What's that when the government takes you away, and what's that called?
Witness protection.
Yeah, you can be a witness protection and still be part of the show. Come on in.
Yeah, like I said, if you're one that doesn't mind getting out here in front of a camera, get on. We'd love to have you on here. I also think too, we're not reaching a lot of people either. So we'll do our best to start promoting it. But like I said, I don't want to turn this into a business. We're not looking for money. We're just looking for an outlet for vets. And we do enjoy it. We enjoy laughing and joking about some of these headlines and giving our perspective, right? Because we were in the Army. And like I said before, we've seen and done everything. And we definitely know everything.
So let's get to the headlines.
Exactly. So let's know what we know. Project Veritas, federal source reveals known terrorists walk freely in U.S. following Biden Afghanistan pullout. Can we even say Afghanistan pullout? That sounds very inappropriate for children.
They know where the terrorists are walking freely, but not I can't call them illegals. What are they called nowadays?
Undocumented.
Oh, people.
Yeah.
Migrants. Undocumented
birthers, potential birthers. Because we don't know their genders either, right?
No, sure don't. It doesn't surprise me. They probably came across the southern border.
Yeah. Well, they know. I saw, I didn't read this article in particular, but I did see something where somebody was talking about they identified a guy. No, I didn't read the article. But they identified an actual terrorist. They know he's here. They know, they ended up putting him on the list after they already brought him here. So literally they're not vetting these people.
Are they watching him? Are they following him? They have eyes on him. They know where he is, or just, oh, yeah, he's a terrorist. That's one. Let's find the next one.
No idea. But apparently they know of 42 or something now. And that's the ones they know of.
But so you know of them, but you just let them walk freely.
Well, maybe they're not. Maybe they're not. Maybe they are watching them. I don't know. The point is that how did it get here? How did this? More lies. Oh, we're vetting them. Oh, we're letting everybody come across the border. They don't need vaccines. They don't need this. They don't need that. They can be whatever. But you people need to be taxed and vaxxed.
Yeah.
It's like are you? Yeah, right.
I'm gonna put on my license plate: taxed and vaxxed.
Oh, yeah, that would be. I don't know if you could fit all that.
DMV probably won't allow it.
Right.
They're government
they'll charge
owned.
you extra. They'll charge you extra.
Well, you always get charged for a vanity plate.
Right.
That's the government. They'll allow it so you can get more money from you.
Isn't it crazy? Yeah, they'll find any way to tax you, dude. It's crazy.
In Delaware, they charge. Listen to this. So you can get a couple of different military license plates. Veterans, right. Iraq, Afghanistan, Vietnam. So I can get Afghanistan or Iraq, since I was in both. If I get an Iraqi plate veteran, it costs me $10. If I get an Afghanistan plate, it costs me $15.
It's because the other 5 go to these immigrants that are coming across the border.
Why is there a $5 difference for a combat plate that happened at the same time?
I told you, because we're not taking in Iraqi immigrants.
Only Afghani immigrants.
Only the Afghanis, so we got to support them. So the extra 5 goes to them.
Oh, good thinking, Lincoln.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Tax and backs. I got it all right here.
It's on my next plate.
And my intelligence is maxed.
That's a big license plate now.
It's way too big. But either way, this just shows you either the blatant disregard or complete incompetence of the people in charge right now. And I mean, like I said, I don't like to bash the foot soldiers because I know there's good people that go in there, but I also know we've had this conversation with the police too. You know, as a former policeman, and Mike was a former cop too, you know, we can see the degradation of the quality of officers being hired. Back in my day, you might have had some, you know, bullies and things, but you knew who you were hiring could do the job. Maybe not, you know, responsibly per se, but now we're hiring people we can't even do the job. I mean, you've seen videos, right, of these people that freeze under pressure or pull out their gun instead of their taser, or, you know, this is becoming more and more common. And this is exactly what I think is happening now. The federal government is hiring people because they have to have people. Either they're doing it for people, you know, to help them out, or just the qualifications are just null and void.
You got to fill spots. We gotta have somebody. So get somebody on here.
Right. Don't you work for the federal government?
Well, I got hired before all this. I've been in there 20 plus years now. So I got hired when it was hard to get on, when the applicant pool was strong and healthy.
Yes. Okay. All right. All right. I mean, like I told you, remember when TSA, I worked for TSA. I think I've told this story before, but who cares? I'll tell it again. You know, I worked for TSA, and I remember when they hired, the airports, they had to hire all those people. I was in New Jersey. Newark Airport. I mean, you know, Newark, it's the armpit of the world. You know what I mean? It's the only airport you can smell before you land. It's just Newark they hired all those people in phase 1. They had to implement phase 2 because they realized they hired like a quarter of their staff was felons. Like they literally had to replace all the felons that they just hired.
Why, the felons can't do a job like you can?
No, they couldn't do the job. and then I'm telling you, I got hired on the second wave. And I saw more people steal stuff than catch stuff. So there were still felons, I guess, in there, or people wanting to be felons.
They had to do wave 3 because of people like Jim.
Oh, I'm telling you, they should have did wave 3, but instead they just gave them badges, and oh my God, it was crazy. Crazy.
So with the police force right now, the applicant pool is not a big pool anymore because of the crap they're going through. So
sure, why would you?
They're not getting the strongest, brightest, most qualified.
Nope.
I mean, I think they're hiring the most qualified out of the choices they have now, you know?
Right. Well, it's like the military too. Same thing, lowering the standards. You know what I mean? You got to lower the standards so you can improve your average, right? Dad used to tell me that, you know, but he's talking about, you know, women out there, you know?
So you lower your standards so you can improve your average.
Huh? He had 3 rules. He was like, never go ugly early. If you don't get any by midnight, go home, and then lower your standards, improve your average.
No, the second one's good.
Yeah. Because usually everything after midnight's trouble anyway. So
yep.
But those are other stories for another day. Let's move to the next headline. All right. Speaking of staggering, U.S. GDP drops a staggering 1.4%.
I don't know what GDP means. I mean, isn't that what the dollar's worth?
Gross domestic product. It's actually money we bring in versus, I think, what goes out.
So we lost 1.4% of.
We've actually hit negative. The last one that was negative. I think this sounds like it's not negative, but this is just I think what blows my mind about this stuff is that we tried to blame COVID, then we tried to blame Russia. I'm not taking credit for that, but they tried to blame COVID. They tried to blame Russia. I mean, and all the while, I mean, it's this establishment. I'm going to call it the establishment because it's not even this.
It's not their own policies that drive this, right?
No, of course
couldn't
not.
Couldn't be. No.
Let's stop making fuel, right? Let's stop making. Do you understand like the effects of not making fuel, and it's just
We're going to save America and not make fuel, but we're going to make the same amount of fuel in a different country and then ship it here on ships that use a
right.
shit ton of fuel
And
to
it's made less
save
clean in other countries, right?
to save. Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
It's like I said, if you're a Democrat out there, if you're, I don't want to say just a Democrat because it's really not fair because there's, dumb Republicans. I don't know if you're just a dumb person out there who's believing this stuff. I mean, if you really still believe this stuff, like you think about it, like we're talking about headlines that we don't even read. You know what I mean? But at some point, there has to be some level of common sense. Just like the whole mask thing, you know what I mean? You need to wear a mask. Oh, look at me down in Florida. I'm not wearing a mask. At the end of the day, you can't be that stupid. You know what I mean?
Right.
If the people are making rules and they're not doing it, what are they telling you?
Some people are that stupid.
Yeah, and a lot of people, I think they want to be that stupid. I really think they want to be told what to do. I'm getting to the point, but I don't mind that. You want to be a sheeple, you want to just be dumb and fall in line with the rest of them, go for it. But leave me the hell alone. You know what I mean? Leave me alone. Don't make it to the point where, it's mandatory. Like you're going to see it now. You see it now. I think there's already an example with the Roe v. Wade we talked about a couple episodes ago. Oh, it's my body, my choice. Oh, but everybody should be vaccinated. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no, that's my body, right? So I don't have to put a vaccine in my body.
But that's different because if you're not vaccinated, you're killing people.
Right. Because
wait a minute. What does an abortion? What does an abortion do? I don't know.
You get what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, stop being stupid. You know what I mean? Whether you believe in either one or just believe what you believe and move on. And the government shouldn't control that.
Or if we have, this is totally off this subject, but since you went back to Roe v. Wade, if I have a cat or a dog that gets pregnant, can I take it in and get that stuff aborted or no?
If I suppose you could, right? Well, you could euthanize the cat or dog right there, right?
Probably.
Kill the whole animal. You don't have to worry about that.
You're pregnant, you're dead too.
Well, I mean, that's there's so many arguments and there's just so many, and I listen to these people and I don't want to say it infuriates me because I get it. Like I saw one lady on there, she talked about I don't know how we got way off this subject, but she was talking about how her abortion saved her life. And this goes back to what I talked about the last episode. She truly believes that getting an abortion saved her life because she couldn't handle life with the stress of a child.
Well,
she truly believes that.
Maybe she had a medical condition that would have caused her to die if she did not have an abortion.
No, she didn't. That's my point. If it was a medical condition, say that. She didn't.
Did you read the headline? Did you read the whole article?
No, that was a video. I saw the video.
Okay. I believe you watched the video.
Yeah, I did watch the video. But that's my point is like, that's what I'm saying. It's turned into a convenience, like a contraceptive. Like they keep skipping the part about choosing to put some penis in their vagina. All right. They keep skipping that part. That choice doesn't matter because that's just going to happen.
Well, the guy has to be held responsible too, not just a woman.
Oh, he only gets to be held responsible, but he doesn't have the rights to keep the child. Because what does he know about? He's not carrying a baby. What does he know about making babies?
I don't know.
It's crazy, dude. Anyway, we're going on a whole different episode. Let's move on before we get too far in this.
What's that got to do with the GDP being 4.1% lower?
Nothing. It just shows you that Brandon is doing a great job. All right. So the next one is NFL finds no evidence Browns paid former coach to tank. I like this. You know why I like this? Because it's sports. Guys talk about this stuff, and there's politics in sports now.
So I don't know about the Browns, but I knew the Dolphins supposedly wanted their head coach to tank, and then you fired him, and then I brought up the whole lawsuit against the NFL because he was a black head coach, and they fired him, but because they fired him because they wanted him to tank, and he didn't tank. I don't know about the Browns too. I don't know the Browns. Was this the current former coach? Was that what's his name? I think it might be the guy. I forgot what the guy's name was.
I could care less, but I mean, like, I think to me, this isn't news. I mean, I think at the end of the day, there's a reason the NHL, and I don't know whether leagues do it, they have a draft lottery. There's a reason they make rules like that because you can't just tank, come in last place and get the first pick every year.
To prevent, yep. I think Isn't the NFL the only team that I don't know how
The only
maybe
league
bad.
doesn't have a lottery.
Well, NBA has a lottery too.
I don't know how it
Yeah,
works. I don't follow any. I don't follow anything but hockey anymore. Anyway.
yeah. I think maybe the NFL is the only one that allows the last place team to draft first, and maybe those lotteries are the reason why it keeps teams. Now, of course, the lower you go, the lower you tank, the more chances you have of getting the lottery pick. You know what I mean? So you can still tank and still get a lottery pick.
Sure. And you know what? Maybe at the end of the day, I don't know the finances. So maybe the lower you
Yeah.
go, like take the Bills, for example, you know what I mean? Like if they keep losing every year, maybe they don't bring in a lot of money. So why would you tank unless you planned on making more money in the long run?
Well, the Bills are good now.
Right. Well, they'd be good now. But I mean, you know, I mean, for years they were like, even the Browns, like I think the
Yeah,
Browns were a laughing stock for years.
yeah they were.
Yeah. So you know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, if they're not making money, then why would you tank unless you want to get superstar picks and players so that you can start making money? So teams that continuously do that tank. Yeah, I don't know. That wouldn't make sense to me.
Well, the Jaguars got the first pick of the draft the past 2 years. So that means they got the first round pick last year, and they still sucked this year. So they get the first round pick, the first pick of the draft again this year. So we'll see how good they are now with two of the best players the last 2 years.
Right, right. And like I've seen it being a Devils fan in hockey, I've seen it like the Devils had first round picks for a couple years and it's still those are picks that the team still develop. They're not instant like
Yeah,
champions, you know?
they go to the minors first, don't they? Like baseball, basically.
Some of them.
So, I
Usually
mean,
when you get the
if
top
you're
5 players can start in the NHL
yeah,
right
they come.
away.
Well, they still start in the minors, like I think like the first 3 or 4 games, just to do it, just to get warmed up, and then they come up. But yeah, a lot of the
Yeah,
baseball players that get drafted don't even make it to the majors.
right, right. And that's what I said, you know, so I understand tanking for an impact player. You know, like if you're tanking to get the top rated quarterback, whatever, and that might turn your whole team around. But I mean, at the end of the day, football is so dependent on way more than just a quarterback. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Why would you tank? Like, why would you tank even to get the best quarterback in the league? You can still lose because he doesn't have a good offensive line in front of him.
right. Exactly. Yeah.
So I think tanking in football might be a little bit hard. So, or you know, I mean, I would more believe in tanking for betting. You know, what I mean, the betting on your own games and team. Like, I believe that might be more prominent than
Yeah, it
trying to
could
get a
be.
first round pick because
Yeah,
I don't even know if first round picks have that much of an impact on a football team.
we got to lose by 8.5. Come on, guys.
Yeah, right. We got to cover the spread. All right. Well, speaking of tankers, let's go to the last one. Um, Washington State City considers jailing homeless who refuse social services.
I'm just trying to get Washington State City. Whoa. A city in Washington State?
Is it Seattle? I mean, could you just say Seattle?
Washington State City. Not a city in Washington State, but Washington State City. It's like, is Washington State a city name?
I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it is.
So they're going to jail homeless who refuse social services. They're going to put them in jail that uses, isn't that pretty much a social service jail? Because you're getting free meals, free bed,
Well,
free medical.
I guess that you can consider them social services, right? But the problem is that I think jails are still private in most places. They're
It depends. Yeah, I
privately
guess.
owned.
Yeah, private for
So
profit.
so they just get their own they just get money from the government for jailing homeless people. And the food might be better in jail than in the social service system. I don't know.
And maybe the homeless are too proud to accept social services. Maybe they're trying to work out on their own and get there on their own. They don't want government help.
Well, you know, this is what that's what this tells me. This tells me when these politicians come out and start talking about these homeless people and all these things, and they don't know it. They honestly do not know why people are homeless. They don't know. They're just making assumptions, like we are in these headlines.
Well, I'm going to make the assumption most homeless is because of the government for one reason or another. They can't afford something because of government policies. Just an assumption. Not all of them, of course. Some of them make
Sure.
bad decisions like anybody else.
And like I said, some of them want to be homeless. Some of them don't want the stress of home ownership and all that other nonsense. Some of them enjoy their life down there. I mean, it's not every person. Like I remembered a lady in Hawaii I ran into when I was stationed in Hawaii. You could see her; she looked like a raisin. Because if you're going to be homeless, Hawaii is the place to do it.
I was just gonna say, why you be homeless in Washington State? Go down the LA where it's warmer, where they have Skid Row, where you can be homeless with a lot of people,
Right.
and it's warm.
But the lady, the locals know all about this lady. She inherited millions of dollars and turned it down, and she lived the life of a homeless on the beach. That's what she did. And I mean, I don't know if she had some mental disorder or what, but
then the government goes and makes rules to prevent people from being homeless on the beach, and
right.
Yeah.
You can't sleep on the beach. You can't do.
Yeah.
But we'll put you in jail and pay for your meals and everything, right?
What are they doing? Are they just trying to clean the street? I mean, what's the purpose?
I don't know, dude. I don't know why they just don't go in and find out why these people are homeless and fix that. If it's drug problems, open up rehab facilities for these people. Do something.
No, we just have safe injection sites.
Right. I mean, right. Or just wait till they die, right? Oh, problem solved. Hey, that's 2 less homeless people on the streets. Like, are you kidding me? Like, and you know, a lot of them are veterans too. There's a lot of veterans homeless out there. And yeah, it's just sad. And yet we're arguing over stupid first world country problems. Anyways, speaking of homeless, I'm not homeless anymore, but this is your home if you're a veteran. Come on, get on here. Come talk to us. I'm not begging. Believe me, we have a good time without you, but you'll have more fun if you show up. Because that means there's 3 opinions on headlines if we get one more person to show up, right? 3 opinions, 2 more people. That's 4. Am I math right? Or is 2 plus 2 5 now?
You're a smart veteran. Whatever you say, I agree with. I don't disagree with anybody. I don't disagree with anybody anymore. Oh, you think so? Cool. Me too. Yep. All right. See you guys later.
Awesome. That's what I like to hear. So since you're not going to disagree, I'm going to close this out. So we are done. Thanks, Nick. Again, we'll see you on the next episode. And thank you guys out there for tuning in. Get involved. And until then, Godspeed.
And pull the pin already. Boom.
Thanks for joining us here. Pull the pin already. We hope you had as much fun as we did. If you like what we do, go ahead and hit that like button and share this video with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so you don't miss out on any of our future episodes. But most importantly, leave a comment below. Let us know if you agree or disagree with our opinions. Hope to see you here next time on Pull the Pin Already.